All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and we have the end of the week Monday market report. This time for October 23rd, 2022. I want to thank you guys for tuning in as we take a look at the most relevant post-1900 modern graded coins that have sold here in the last 7 days. Of course, the information that we're going to look at today, all courtesy of GreatCollections.com. As you guys know, they are one of the biggest auction houses on the internet today. They have auctions currently running week in, week out. They are probably, bar none, the top dog in the industry today. So if you're looking to sell some of your premier pieces, they're probably a pretty good choice. And if you are indeed interested in selling some of your coins, check them out. GreatCollections.com. Great group of people that are really easy to work with. Furthermore, if you're looking to buy some pretty nice pieces to add to your collection, look no further. GreatCollections.com is your place to go. All right, so the market is fantastic as usual, as expected, given the time of year. During these last 3 months, this fourth quarter of the year, generally is boosted up by what is just a really, really strong modern market. And we have a number of coins today, a few staples, a few registry set worthy coins, and of course a few, I just want to throw it out there, just really nice high-end type coins that we're going to take a look at. And the prices will impress you. So if you do have a few of these, then pay close attention. You might be surprised at how much your coins could be worth, especially the ones that we have on the list today. We have 20 coins total that we're going to talk about. Of course, every single coin is graded. So yeah, stay tuned, strap in your seatbelts, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what has been hot here this week. We're going to start it off with, again, a coin that these seem to sell like once every other week, once a week. I don't know. But how many Mint State 69 red 1995 Lincoln Memorials with the FS101 doubled die obverse can there be? No, really, answer that question for me. Here's yet again another premier specimen. This is an NGC graded Mint State 69 red, of course. When you look for the doubled die, you always have to look at the motto, which is "In God We Trust," and Liberty. They're all going to show some of the best doubling that you could possibly find on a modern Lincoln cent. So this one right here, I mean, the coin is just drop dead gorgeous, very clean, with no apparent distracting nicks or marks or anything on the coin. One grade point away from perfection. I would love to see a Mint State 70 come around sometime here in the future. I would only imagine that a coin like that would just be otherworldly in the market today. This particular example ended up selling for $1,857.38 with 36 total bits. You're probably asking yourself, where does this coin fit in? This will actually sell to a couple different interested parties. The number one, of course, is a registry set, because there is a variety registry set with nothing but some of the best varieties that you could ever find on some of these series. But also, a variety collector will want something like this as well. While not a PCGS graded coin, I could only imagine how much that would sell for in a 69 red. I mean, this is a great compromise here. I mean, if you're looking for a top-end coin that will retain its value over time, this is the one right here. Continuing on with a few more of the varieties, we have this one and the next coin, which are absolute staples on the secondary market. We have, of course, one of the big chase pieces in proof sets today, 1990 No S proof Lincoln set. This one right here has been cherry-picked a number of times, and they always manage to pop up on occasion. How rare is it? It's quite scarce. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're out there trying to cherry-pick one of these, you're going to have to go through quite a few of these proof sets. And keep in mind, by and large, a lot of these have been cherry-picked. So you're going to have to find a resource that you know is untapped potential, and that's going to be your big ticket. So yeah, there is supposed to be an S mint mark under that date. That's the normal version of a 1990S proof Lincoln cent. However, due to some sort of unforeseen circumstances, the mint mark was left off of whatever working die they were using to produce these. And that's considering that they do strike these twice, because that's how they do proof coins. Proof 69 red. I mean, it's one of the top echelon of grades that you could, muster on a coin like this. Most of them will be deep cameo, as it should be, just based off of the tech involved with these much later dated coins. The frost will be extremely, extremely bright. So this one ended up selling for $5,468.62 with 21 bids. Just a dynamite variety to be on the lookout for. And of course, we can't have a Monday market report with at least talking about one 1972 doubled die obverse. Now, this coin needs no virtual, introduction. It speaks for itself. You'll notice the massive doubling on the date, Liberty, and the motto on the front of this coin. Of course, you guys know it's the FS 101. It's a top tier coin. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 red, which is a phenomenal grade. That's the kind of grade that you dip your toe into when you want something that is everlasting. A coin that 10 years from now will probably end up being worth a lot more money than what it is today. This one sold for $2,356.88 this evening, and that's with 11 total bids. Dynamite coin right here. Our big feature coin of the week is a high-end registry bomb. So as you guys know, PCGS and NGC host these phenomenal registry sets. Anybody could join and participate. But really, the biggest and best registries are in the Lincoln Cent series. People assemble the finest grades of every single date. And this is kind of like one of those things that's going on today, where it's really pumping a lot of money into the market, especially what I call like very deep pockets type of money, into an untapped potential area. And that has long been the kind of like this modern age of Lincolns. We've seen like these 1980s Lincoln cents, that grayed out Mint State 68 that sell for $7, $8, $9, $10,000, and a lot of people are left scratching their heads like, this can't be like, this can't be really, like a legitimate deal. But I'm telling you, the registry set has opened up a whole new world of possibilities, and it's everlasting. This is something that's been going on for the better part of the last 2 decades, since the advent of the internet age, where people were actually able to participate in this program that is brought upon by the graders. 54 Lincoln is by far one of the most difficult coins to achieve this particular numerical grade, which happens to be a Mint State 67 red. Although this coin this evening isn't the most expensive. We've seen other 67 sell for a little bit more than this one. This one ended up at $8,944.88. We've seen this coin eclipse the $10,000 mark. So is that a matter of less interest on these? Probably not so much less interest as there being maybe one more added to the population reports. Keeping in mind that as the pop reports become diluted with more 67s, and good luck, this is not an easy coin to grade at this level, that's going to inherently affect the values of all other examples. So keep that in mind. Almost $9,000, not really nothing to sneeze about. This is a huge coin. Speaking of huge coins, if you could cherry pick a Mint State version of the 1943 D over D RPM, this is the FS 501 as well, congratulations, enjoy the money. I've talked about this story time and time again. I had an opportunity to cherry pick one of these at a coin shop in the Bay Area about 12 years ago, to the tune of $85. And I thought about it at the time. I was really, kind of pinching my pennies because, me and my wife at the time, we were just kind of like getting the ball rolling. As you guys know, living in Northern California can be a little pricey. So I elected to not buy it. And it could have very well grade like a 66, like the one you see here. Yeah, you guys can skip ahead if you don't want to hear the story. But I ended up, taking the plunge, going back to that same dealer, I think a week later, and the coin was gone. It was gone. I mean, it was a missed opportunity. This particular example here in this grade, I mean, yeah, $4,612.50. Can you imagine me buying one of these at $85 and then flipping it, grading it, flipping it to this kind of amount of money? It would be one of my biggest wins ever. But yep, it was just not meant to be. But it's a good story. Yeah, so yeah, a huge coin here. This is probably one of the most impactful varieties in the entire series, and that speaks a lot considering it is in a pretty good company with a 55 DDO and 69S DDO and a few others. But yeah, well done. This is such a beautiful coin, and I'm still pursuing this to this day. And we have a 1936. This is no doubt a registry set inclusion. Mid-State 67 plus full red is what this one hits. It's also CAC green beamed as well. So this particular coin in this grade is quite scarce. But anything lower than this grade, you can obtain them if you need it. So this one ended up selling for $4,600.12. That's with 36 bids. Great Collections does note a little bit of toning on here, which you can see on the obverse of the coin. So that is on there. And the final 1 cent denom coin of the week is going to be this 1915D. I mean, this is just a beautiful coin. Mid-State 67 red. Of course, any coin with a mid-mark during this particular decade, it is quite a gift. If you find one raw, I mean, good luck with that. They just don't, pop up in like they used to 20, 30 years ago. But if you did come across it, send it to PCGS or NGC straight away. The coins are unbelievably big trophies. And to this day, they're just constantly being scooped up for large amounts of money. This one right here, well, you could kind of figure out what you could buy with this amount of money. $47,250, ladies and gentlemen, was the final hammer on this beautiful 15D. And that's with 73 bits. Man, this thing was on fire this evening. All right, so now we're on to nickels. It's kind of hard to follow up that 15D Lincoln, but I'm going to try my hardest. Starting out with a Compradore, hopefully I got that right, collection provenance piece. Good old basic 1961 nickel. I mean, heck, I mean, we do know it's scarce in full steps. This one right here has those two very important letters at the end of the grade, Mid-State 65 FS. This is a true rarity. That I'm sure the Compradore provenance was a big-time nickel collection. This is one of them. $4,469.62 was the final sale. 33 total bids on this one. And we do have a 59, although not as scarce in full steps as the 61. We do have another one here, highlighted by a Mid-State 67 numerical grade. And it does have an FS there as well. So this is going to be a registry set piece, a big staple, a huge, huge anchor for that collection. This one right here sold for $3,712.50 with 26 bids. And it does feature a little bit of toning as well. And a 51S. The 1950s were certainly a good decade. 51S is a little bit tougher date in general, but as far as finding one that's in mint state condition, they do exist. Now, this, of course, is another big registry piece. Mid State 67 FS was the grade on this by PCGS. $5,735.25 was the sale at 33 bids this time. And this is probably one of my favorite coins this week. 1939. Of course, we all know there's a big doubled die that you could find on these, and this is it. This is a DDR FS801. Also shows this as being a reverse of 1940, which is the modified engraved reverse. Most specifically, the steps on this have that attribute. But take a look at Monticello, 5 cents. I mean, this has the strongest doubling that you will find in the series to date. Mid-State 67. There's very few of these that are actually graded with full steps, so that's worth noting. So this non-full steps coin sold for $2,281.50 with 38 bids. Does anyone have $2,300 I could have to buy one of these for myself? No, I'm joking. You guys worked hard for your money. Don't be giving me any credit or money for things like this. I'm just here to deliver a little bit of market news and education. Hopefully that is all you guys need. All right, we have, I believe this is the last nickel. We have 2 Buffalo nickels, and that's it. But they are pretty cool. 1929S. It begins to get really tough here, and Mid-State 67 is actually a pretty bonkers grade for this particular date of Buffalo Nickel. It's a very stunning coin, too. I looked at the reverse on this one, and while it's not one of the most hammered strikes, it is one of the most cleanest. And I say that because normally on this particular series, you see a lot of like heavy die flow, in the fields, and this one just doesn't have a lot of that, which I admire, Believe it or not, I actually admire a coin. But this is an NGC Mid-State 67. Obviously, it fit right into a high-end registry set. How about $4,500 on this one? 19 total bids collected to get to that amount. Just a beautiful, beautiful looking buff. And of course, we're going to end this one off here, the nickel section, with a 1913 Type 1. These things are as common as 38Ds, especially in high grade. They were preserved at that highest level when they first came out. Collectors and, just anybody was scooping these up, even the Philadelphia's. So it features black diamond, which is the buffalo, on a raised mound on this coin, which ultimately became problematic because the area in which 5 cents is was prone to some pretty heavy wear. The coin would get to like a very fine condition, which is still a decent grade, and 5 cents would be completely worn off. So obviously the mint employees and the engravers, they went back to the drawing board mid-year to feature a Type 2 reverse, which has the buffalo on a recessed field area where 5 cents doesn't wear down as quickly. But, Mid-State 68 is not the grade that you normally find with these. 65 or 66 is more the ticket. Those exist in greater numbers out there. If you wanted one for, under $100 or $200, you can find them. But 68 is just on a whole other level. This one has pretty good toning as well. I actually like it. It's very subtle. It's not in your face as some of the other ones. We have a couple dimes, by the way, that have that. But $6,117.63 with 21 bids is where this one ended at. All right, so believe it or not, the most ostracized series of coin actually made it onto the list a few times. And with staggering results. How about a 1964D? Now, the big reason why this one here is obviously the toning. Outside of that, it probably wouldn't have earned, too many kudos, even with a full bands or full torch designation. And yeah, this is a a registry set piece. They, believe it or not, are Roosevelt dime registries out there, and they're very proud of it. So, they will tell you otherwise. But yeah, this is just a big coin on the merit of the toning. This is a huge one. $1,040.62 was the final sale on this one. I'm just glad to announce that. A 64, doesn't usually pop up on the radar of the MMR reports, but I threw this one in here because of the toning. And same goes for this one, 61D this time around. This one is in a, what do they call it? It's the 30th anniversary OGH holder label thingamajig. So it features the older style label. This was a service that they allowed a few years back to kind of give it that retro feel. But this is a mid-state 67 plus full bands. But looking at the coin, you guys probably can figure out why this one's on the list. That toning. $1,468.12 with 29 total bids collected on this behemoth. But the biggest one out of this week for Roosevelt dimes has to be this 1961 right here. Jeez. The grade, same as the previous two, although a little bit tougher because it is a Philadelphia. Full bands, 67 plus, pretty nice, decent obverse toning, kind of that pastel-y type of hue to it. $5,006.25. Yeah, I mean, were you guys expecting for me to say that kind of money, $5,000 for this thing? I mean, we can look back and, kind of deduce that there are a number of other coins that you could buy in lieu of, a 1961 Roosevelt. But again, the registry set crowd, sometimes they're an irrational bunch. And, when they need it, they just need it. And the pockets are mighty deep. It's a different pool of cash. I mean, we're not talking about folks that earned all this money because of the cryptocurrency boom a few years ago. Oh, no, this is like old money here. And glad to see Roosevelt dimes getting a little bit of respect this week. The only single mercury dime is this one. It's a big one. 1917D. Holy smokes. Mid-state 66 full bands of any of these branch mid, D or S. Teens, mercuries are always a huge deal. This one, no doubt, is one of them. $13,062.38 was the final sale on this. 32 total bids, so it was definitely very active this evening. Glad to see another teens mercury dime hit the skids this week in a big way. All right, we're going to end it off on 3/4. Now, we're going to kind of jump right back into the variety field, and this is going to be a little lesson for you guys, because 1940s and 50s Washington quarters in mid-state condition, raw, grow on trees. They're out there all over the place. So if you got the eye for detail and your varieties, whether they're the type B reverses or an RPM or a double die, this is where you can really rake. 1940 D over D RPM, this is the FS501 in the Cherry Picker's Guide, is just a $50 coin, raw. All right, this one is a mid-state 66. So if you found one of these, you send it off to PCGS, you got the variety attribution, you could possibly do really well. Like this person here who sold this one for $2,081.25. 3 bids, a few bids is sometimes is all you need on this one. But put that into perspective. You could really do well hunting out varieties on much nicer coins. And a couple classics. How about 27S? XF45, right? It doesn't seem like that great of a grade, but, on a tough semi-key, very, very tough coin, it means the world. It is on here because of that. 27S is tough. I have a few 27s, but yeah, they're not this. $1,518, $1,518.75. There you go. It's much better said that way. 20 bids. This is a type coin right here, or a SLQ set coin. Because if you're looking for an AU or a mid-state version of a 27S, you better sell your car or sell your spleen or maybe pull out a second mortgage or give up your firstborn, because it's a very rare, very expensive coin. And then finally, we're going to leave things off here with a little bit of Barber love. How about 1909 New Orleans Barber quarter? This is just a kind of like average mid-state 62. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a huge home run of a coin, but this is a tougher date, especially in mid-state condition. I can only imagine what this thing would sell for in like 65 grade, but this one ended up selling for $6,918.75 with 10 bids. The Barber series as a whole is just a super underrated series. And one day it'll get its due, for being the workhorse of the working economy from the early 20th century. And these things were never really saved in high grades. So this is a testament to that. A just simple mid-state 62, 19090 with nearly $7,000 sale. All right, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this edition of the Monday Market Report. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you guys again for tuning in on this video. Always appreciate it. Do you have a favorite this week? Love to hear about it. Go ahead and comment below what your favorite is. I would have to say, for me personally, I have two. The 39 DDO, or DDR rather, Jefferson Nickel, is one of those, and then one of the coins that we just looked at, the 19090 Barber quarter, is my second favorite this week's group. So if you guys are catching this on a Sunday, have a great evening. For you Monday folks catching this one, enjoy a great week. Don't work so hard. Love you guys, and thank you again for all of the wealth of support. You guys are amazing. Couldn't have done it without you. So you guys take care. Have a pleasant evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.